Hi everybody and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who are new, I'm Gina Louise. I love to take scrap wood, especially pallet wood, and create something fun out of it. Today I'm going to show you how to take pieces of pallet wood and make them into beautiful Christmas houses. First I took my pallet wood and I would cut a straight line across the bottom and then a point at the top. All different angles and all different heights to give it more interest. Christmas colors of red and green if you like, but I really wanted to do shabby chic pastel. That went better with my decor, so I did one. I brushed this light mint chip from Debbie's DIY. One I did in a soft pink, and one I did in a white. I used a dry brush because I wanted a very worn out, weathered look, kind of beachy looking. I didn't want a solid coverage. This brush wasn't giving me the look I wanted, so I grabbed my other chalk paint brush. So this is the look I was going for. I love it. It reminds me of worn out beechwood. And now I found this gorgeous, gorgeous scrapbook paper. Very shabby chic. Beautiful aquas and pinks, butterflies and flowers and just writing. Just love it. So I'm using this to decoupage the houses. I like to wet the edges of the scrapbook paper so that it softens it, and then I just take my fingers and I pull at it so I give it a tattered look. Now I'm just going to use some matte Mod Podge, and I'm going to decoupage all these pretty flowers and the French writing and butterflies and the roses and all the other things. There's even a vintage bicycle on one of the pages. So I'm just picking out all the pieces that I think are pretty, and I'm just going to arrange them to my liking and play around with them, move them around before I actually glue them down with the Mod Podge. And just keep doing it until you like it. I mean, this is just to inspire you. You could do these houses in your favorite Christmas colors and decor and papers, and you could put, I don't know, you could put Santas and reindeers and wrapping paper or whatever it is that you like that goes with your holiday decor. But I'm very shabby chic, very pastel-y. My tree is a flocked 12-foot tree covered with pastel and white flowers and ornaments. And so this will go perfect with my decor. And pink roses, of course, they're always everywhere. They're my favorite. So just sit back, relax, and watch what I do, and hopefully I inspire you to create some really cool Christmas houses. So here's what they look like so far. Now I am taking my ink pad and my French words, and I'm going to just stamp some French words all over the houses in spots that I think need a little something, a little pizzazz in the open area without covering too much of the wood. I've decided that my houses need a roof, so I took my paint stirrer and I'm going to cut them and do two on each side, one on each side, so that I have a roof line. But I decided to do just the outer one first, the corner, because I'm going to glue these all together in a staggering position, and it's not going to lay flat if I do all the roofs at once. So I'm just going to do the outer ones first. After I cut my piece for the roof, I just sand it down with my nail file to make it nice and smooth. I then laid out my pieces the way I was going to glue them together to get an approximate size for the other side of the roof. I wanted them staggered like this with the tall one in the front. So I just put my stirring stick down, marked it, and cut this one. After cutting my pieces for the roof, I laid everything down and got them ready to stamp them. I love the way this looks, so I just randomly stamped all 3 pieces wherever there was just a blank spot. This one I overlapped onto the 2 of them. I just love the way this came out. I added the one roof that I cut, and now I took my tumbling blocks from the Dollar Tree, and I'm going to use these to create windows and shutters on the houses. I'm playing around with positioning the tumbling blocks to the way I think they'll look best, which this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed placing the windows and the doors and the shutters and embellishing these houses. Really, really was a super fun project. I had so much fun doing it, and I love the way it came out. I already have it on my fireplace, even though it's too early in the season. I just love looking at it. It's just so pretty. I'm happy with this look, so now I just take some wood glue and I glue them into position. I cut the rest of my pieces for the roof, and I take my wood wax and I'm just going to make them a little darker because I just think that the roof line needs to be just darker than the rest. I took sandpaper and I just sanded the edges and I roughed it up a little bit. I wanted to distress the house a little bit more. You don't have to do this. You could keep yours just the way it is. It's just the look that I like. I liked the way everything came off the edges and it made it pop. If you're enjoying this video, please consider subscribing to my channel and leave me a comment below telling me if you're going to make these houses. And even if you're not going to make these houses, leave a comment below telling me what color would you make these Christmas houses? Right now I'm taking some of my wood stain that I have on the makeup brush that I used for the roof, whatever's left on it, and I'm just outlining the lighter pieces to make them pop and the edges of the houses to give it a little more of a rustic shabby chic look, or a farmhouse shabby chic look, if that's a real thing. When I embellish, it's never enough. So I'm looking at this and saying, what do I need? What do I need? I need some more fun colors. I'm going to do mint and aqua. Debbie's DIY. I love these paints. So I'm going to do the windows and give them some blue tint to them. And then I'm probably going to doodle something on those shutters. Yeah, I'm sure I'm going to do that. After the paint dried, I took my sandpaper again and I just sanded over the painted part because I wanted it to look distressed like the rest of it. And I really love the way that came out. Now it's time for me to glue the roof on the first house, because this way I can line up the other houses and glue them on. I guarantee there was a better, smarter way of doing this and that I didn't do it the right way. I mean, it worked out for me, but there's got to be an easier way. So anybody out there watching this, if you know an easier way or better way of doing this, please leave a comment below. But anyway, this was the roof that I had measured out, with the taller house being on top of both of the shorter houses. So I figured if I put the roof on, then everything would line up just right after that. And that's the way I did it. Like I said, if you know a better way, let me know in the comments below. I used both wood glue and hot glue for a permanent seal, and so the hot glue would seal it immediately so that I can put the houses together. I used wood glue to put the houses together, and then I used the painter sticks on the back to secure it. I also used a line of hot glue going down each side. Time to put the final roof on the last house. I couldn't put it on prior to this because the houses would have been off balance, because I have to make this roof come to the front a little more than the other roofs because it hangs over. I still felt it needed a little more pizzazz, so I got out my little organizer of my beads and I thought, oh, I could jazz this up and make this look cuter. So I will take some beads and use them for doorknobs for the doors on the houses. And then I'm going to get my paints out and I'm going to doodle on the shutters and make them look more like shutters. Time to doodle. It doesn't matter if these lines are straight. It really just adds to the character of the house if it's not. Now I'm using my black Sharpie to do some doodle stitches all around the house. I love this look and it just really adds to it. Now I just added some highlights to the windows to give it like fake glass look. I don't know. But the highlighting looks cute on the windows. I secured the back of the house with the paint sticks and I added embellishments to the front, and I don't know where the footage is, but I made little flower pots for the front and I made a Christmas wreath, and these houses look just like the little fairy tale houses in Germany. Well, that's what they remind me of. They don't look exactly like them. They just really remind me of them. I grabbed another piece of pallet wood and I used my wood glue and hot glue and I just glued the houses to the base. I also embellished the windows with some heart buttons I had, and I think that's what makes it look like those fairy tale German houses. I bought these little flocked Christmas trees from the Dollar Tree, and they were too big for the outside of the house. So what I did was I cut them down. I got my wire cutters, and I cut the top of them off and hot glued them to the pallet that I used for the base so that they would have some pretty Christmas trees outside. These dust mops from the Dollar Tree make the best snow for these houses. I'm going to tell you now, it's super messy, so make sure you do it over something so you could throw the little pieces out that flake around, but it just comes out so amazing and makes the best snow. For the rooftop, for the ground, for the windows, I just love it. But like I said, it gets a little messy. Please don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment letting me know what color you would make your Christmas houses.